Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Hitlary Clinton showed up again, and she, I don't know if she identifies as a he now or not, but she not only insults the deplorable, which are the big part of the Trump supporters, according to her, but also I think the American citizen in general. She makes some statements. Obviously, she attacks Tucker Carlson for daring to interview Vladimir Putin and do his job as a journalist, which is, talk to people and then let us know what they say, or at least allow that person to say what he has to say, and you make up your mind. But it seems like Miss Hitlary Clinton wants to avoid the imbeciles, which is the citizens, supposedly, to even hear what the other guy has to say, because she decides that we are incapable of understanding. Therefore, she has to protect us from hearing another voice. That's her entire point. She calls Tucker Carlson an useful idiot. Well, isn't he doing his job, which is, I'm going to interview this guy, ask questions and see what he says. And then you guys, the citizenry, will determine what you understand and what you don't understand out of what that bad or good dude did or said. I think that's the way it works in a free world that we're supposed to be living in. So I have here this article from The Hill, where Hitlary comes and says that Tucker Carlson is an useful idiot. Well, let's discuss this little article and then see how she actually thinks that we are baboons. Therefore, she takes the role, or the elites should take the role of protecting us from information that we cannot understand. It's very interesting that on one side they tell us we are free and democracy, and we're freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of this and that. And then when it's about really knowing everything that's over there, no, you should not hear that voice. No, you should not hear that voice. But who are you? We are in charge of you, my friends. So let's look at this article. So this comes from The Hill. And Hitlary Clinton reacts to announcement Carlson will interview Putin. And I'm quoting, "He's a useful idiot." This is from the 7th of February 2024. And every time I start a video, the sun decides to show up from behind the clouds. So, just a second. And I guarantee you that while we have this video going, you see the sun, that's going to disappear. Because as soon as I have the shades on, the sun is going to go behind the clouds. It happens often enough. Well, nevertheless, that's what it is. Let's move on here. So, Hitlary Clinton reacted to conservative commentator Tucker Carlson's recent announcement that he had secured an interview with Russian President Vladimir Putin, calling the former Fox News pundit a useful idiot. So let's see what her arguments could be. He says things, and I'm quoting, he says things that are not true. Okay, name a few, baby doll. He parrots Vladimir Putin's pack of lies about Ukraine. Okay, that's your opinion, that's fine. Okay, which, like what? So I don't see why Putin wouldn't give him an interview. Okay, but he can give him an interview. That's not the point. The point is that in a free society, in a free world, a journalist should do his job and ask someone his opinion, his stance on certain issues. Now, if he lies or if he doesn't, that's up to the population, to the viewers to decide. Unless you think that Putin is so good and we are so dumb, then yes, protect us, right? Like mommy. In a free society, they should not be in between, right? So I understand, I understand exactly, actually, what her stance is. We have to maintain here the bubble, the status quo, and no dissenting voice should be allowed to be heard. I want to hear what he says. As a free person, I should ask nobody for the permission to hear what anyone I want to hear, listen to. I should not ask anybody for any permission. In a free world, I should have access to any book that I want. In a free world, I should be allowed without repercussions to tell you what I believe, what I think. As long as it's not harming actively, like I do something, achieving certain goals, it's just a tyrannical way of a worldview here. So she tells us that he's an unuseful idiot. Now, what's the journalist's job? To interview people, to find things, to tell us the truth, the news. I mean, the truth in reporting the news. Maybe, it depends what kind of journalist you are. If you just report the news, then you report them objectively. Now, if you're a little opinion maker right there, and you have your own show and you bring your assessments like I do here, I don't report the news. I also give my assessment, and sometimes I give what I think could solve the problems, issues. Hey, this is the issue. I think this, the way I see it, this could help this issue be solved. I'm not a news broadcaster. I don't tell you on that date Gigi met Michael. I'm telling you bad Gigi or stupid Gigi because he did this, met smart Michael, smart because this. But I bring evidence to say why Hitlary Clinton, I think she's a tyrant. Her attitude here, I can definitely say that she has an attitude of a tyrant. So yes, this is an opinion, assessment of her character, her traits, by her statements. And her statements is, do not interview people we don't like. We being a few over there, including Hitlary. So she's against knowledge, information, freedom. So how am I supposed to assess her? Of being a protector? I don't need a protector. I'm not a baby. Why shouldn't I be the protector of Hitlary? Because she's better than me. That's the whole point. We are just... See, where's the sun? Where's the sun? Gone. Why? Because I put the shades down. Anyway, it happens so often, it's so irritating sometimes. So anyway, let's go back here. I want to hear what she says. I want to hear what Obama says. I want to hear what Biden says, what Putin says, what Xi Jinping says, what Kim Jong-un says, by Raisi, by Maduro, any of these guys. I want to hear everything. Milei, Netanyahu, those guys over there in Gaza. I want to hear what they say. I don't want anybody to tell me, oh, we're going to protect you, you're just dumbasses. No. I should be free to listen to what the hell ever I want as an adult. Now, obviously, they say, well, don't provide a platform because you decide that. Again, you're not in charge of me, in charge of my freedom, are you? Yes, they are. So Hitlary basically says again, even worse than she says the deplorables before. No, she comes and says, you're tards. You're incapable of what? Taking the truth, standing the truth, getting it. And we would not be able to understand. Yes, other people are not able to understand certain things. We have our limitations. But still, who says that if I listen to CNN interview of Biden, at that particular point, I'm capable of understanding and that should be promoted, but the other side should not be. So you can't be placing limits on my understanding based on the subject. And hear me here. If I listen to what CNN says about Biden, I should listen to that because I will be capable of understanding. Those are fair, correct, and honest people. Now, if I listen to another leader, right, to Putin, by another journalist, I should not because I'm not capable of understanding the propaganda. Because over there is no propaganda about Biden, but it's propaganda about that one. I mean, in the same issue here, two different people, or four if you want, the interviewer as well, the journalist, then I'm capable, someone determined for me. And who? Hillary Clinton? I wouldn't allow Hillary Clinton to be, I don't know, in charge of the dog catching department in a village in Montana. I wouldn't give that person. That person is dangerous. They're dangerous to me, my livelihood, and my family. And I think this nation. She's a very dangerous person. But anyway, my friends, how? I will tell you how. What would you do when you says you have nothing to do with Muhammad Gaddafi, and then when he gets killed like a dog with the help of the good forces, during that interview, she's when she finds out that he was killed as he was. I mean, let's put it this way: even if Gaddafi is your enemy. The way he was abducted, and that was not Middle Ages. That was, I don't know, I don't, maybe I insulted the people 3,000 years ago or something, but that was baboonish. And what did she do? She laughed. She laughed seeing a person dead. We saw he's dead. Now that tells a lot. Tells a lot. And she was a Secretary of State with no experience. Foreign Minister with no experience. Remember, what did she do? She was taken from here as the wife of that guy and then placed on what? On a senatorial position in the state of New York. Why? Oh, she was elected. She was a clear example of how these guys function. They can put a shit in front of these guys to the baboons to vote, and they vote for it. That's why they don't want to let us, right? Because we're baboons. We're not allowed to. But people don't get behind the scene to understand. Wait a minute. If these guys would have put in front of them, I don't know, someone else they never heard of, the media that Hitler wants us to believe, makes the person be perfect, sound to be like he's an expert, he's fantastic. As an evidence, Hitlary Clinton was elected senator in the state of New York. And then, well, it's just our propaganda is good, the other side's propaganda is bad. She didn't even listen to what this guy has to say. She didn't even listen. She knows what he's going to say. Well, obviously she doesn't want us to hear his opinion. We can't understand everything, obviously. We can understand, as I said, we have our limitations. But in a free world, regardless of our low limitations, of higher limitations, or how to put it, we should be allowed to listen to whatever we want. As a prerequisite of being free, you should not be infringed on your freedom of, listening to whomever you want. And they do exactly that. The communists did that with books. They didn't publish books. That's it. They banned one or two, that I know exactly which ones. They banned one or two books, but the rest, they would not republish them. So therefore you don't have it. Unless you had books published before the communists took over. So the same, if these guys are just ignoring certain kind of people or certain kind of statements by not publishing them, by not putting them on the media, you would never hear. You never hear. They're afraid. They're too afraid of the opposite stance. And it's only one. It's only Tucker, one. It's not like 50 guys going over an interview. One. And for that one, no, not even that one. Hitlary Clinton. I mean, no surprising here. But remember, she has a daughter. And her daughter will be pushed if the two Clintons will still be alive. Will compete against Obama's children. Because here, United States of America is about dynasty. Hey, where's the son? He's gone, see? Yeah, it's about dynasties. Now they are at Trump's dynasty. Trump killed Bush's dynasty and tried to kill Clinton's dynasty. But Clintons are coming back. As long as Bill and Hitlary are still alive, I'm guaranteeing you that Chelsea will be pushed little by little. And then you got Obama's daughters, who again are at Harvard, because they're very smart. We know that. Why? Look at the parents, right? Look at Michelle and what's his name? Barack. Here it is, my friends. They are in charge of what we're supposed to hear or what not. I think he's just doing his job. Interviewing. Even if it's a skewed interview, I still want to hear it. Because I'm learning not necessarily from what the answers or the questions are. I learn from many other things. That interview will provide me, at least. Most of all, body language. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.